Apologies. Canelo Triple G3. Do you have a winner in that fight? Who do you think wins?
I want the winner. Whoever the winner is, feed him to me.
Thank you, Jermall. See you June 18th on Showtime, man. Thank you.
Those are the words of Jermall Charlo as he calls out the winner of Triple G and Canelo 3. Let me counterpunch. This is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. Jermall Charlo is undefeated still. I remember the negotiations with Jaime Munguia, which that was a fight that I really did want to see, because I thought, and I think that would probably be one of the fight of the year type of fights if it would have happened. And of course, Canelo decided to go another route. And I think it's just bad fortune. And I think what happens with a lot of these fighters like Jermall, you have Caleb Plant, you have David Benavidez, you have these guys running into each other. I think these guys should fight the fighters that's realistic. Okay? Jermall Charlo fighting Caleb Plant, that's realistic. Jermall Charlo fighting David Benavidez, that's realistic. Jermall Charlo fighting Chris Eubank Jr., that's realistic. It's more realistic than Canelo, because Canelo is, as of right now, is fighting under a promotional banner of DAZN. It's a streaming service which PBC fighters with Al Haymon, they don't want to have anything to do with. Okay? They are loyal to Al Haymon. They, most fighters and most people really resort back to what they are familiar with. Jermall and Jermall both, along with a lot of other fighters, they're familiar with Al Haymon. They're familiar with Fox. They're familiar with Showtime, the PBC, the pay-per-view brand, the pay-per-view model, that particular pay-per-view brand and pay-per-view model. And I think Jermall Charlo is like, hey, I'll fight whoever. And I think he gave us the true reality of he is not his own boss. If you look, I'll leave the link below in this short interview with Jermall. He said it. I'm just a fighter. I don't make these decisions. I can't make these guys fight me. I don't get these fights made. What he's basically saying, people, is he's not making his own fights. Now, I'm not necessarily sure that he's calling them out, but he called out the winner of Triple G and Gennady Golovkin. And let's talk about that for a minute. Both of those guys looks like they're beatable. Golovkin is 40 years old, looks beatable. Canelo just got beat by a bigger guy that gives people confidence that he can be beaten, because they've seen him beaten by Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol showed you, hey, you can beat a guy up like that, like Canelo. Stick to your boxing fundamentals and don't let off the gas. Stay focused, stay landing shots, and you might get a decision. It didn't work for Triple G, but it could. But it does give you confidence, because seeing is believing. Okay? And I think Jermall's like, hey, I've seen that ass get whooped. I think I can do that too. Go figure. So if you had money, if you're going to bet on any fighter, it would be Canelo anyway, beating Triple G. So it's like, yeah, feed me the fighter. Feed me that guy. But again, if he's fighting 2 more times on DAZN, what makes him think that he's going to get that particular fight? It goes back to the reality, to the realistic basis, the pragmaticness of all of this. With Jermall Charlo knowing he's a PBC fighter, I think he should try to set things up with David Benavidez. Not these guys trying to cross the street when they're really not even familiar with crossing the street. Errol Spence said that best. Okay? Hopefully we see a Terrence Crawford fight, but it wouldn't when Terrence Crawford was on ESPN in Top Rank. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jermall Charlo saying that he does not pick his own fights. He does not make those fights, but he would like the winner of Canelo Triple G3. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!